So what's one thing you hate about your job?
Lightning.
Lightning.
Lightning is, you know, it's
that'll ruin your day.
Yeah, it's a common overlooked issue, but when you guide as many days as I do, you're going to run into some terrible weather.
Sweet. Thanks, sir. Yeah.
Pick him up.
Sure.
Is there anything there? Is there anything there? It's pretty dark. How about this? Can you see him against the sky?
Yeah.
Ow! You kidding me?
Nice,
right,
dude.
let's
get that bad boy back in the water.
There he goes. Oh
yeah.
Another day, my man.
Nice one, dude.
Nice work.
Nice work. Excellent. We've only been on the water for what? 9 hours?
Yeah,
I don't know.
All day.
All day?
Absolutely.
So Brian, how were you introduced to fly fishing?
Well, when I was a boy, my family traditionally were spin fishermen. My dad and my grandpas used to take me fishing. And by the time summer vacation rolled around and I actually had nothing to do besides fish all the time, the trout were still present. You could see them because they were eating, but they weren't eating spinning offerings.
Right.
So, so spawned the question, how do I fish with bugs? Because that's, you know, it was pretty apparent that's what they were eating. And my grandpa Sullivan gave me a fly rod when I was 12, and that was that.
So how did you get into guiding?
Funny story, really. It's just some friends from my hometown, some older guys that fly fish. They saw me on the river, and they saw me, you know, doing well. And they said they had some friends coming to town and had to work and wondered if I would be interested in guiding them on the river. And that was my first gig ever. It was actually just, you know, sought me out.
So how long have you been guiding on the Deerfield?
In all, this will be my 21st season. I started when I was 19. I turned 40 last month.
I know you do a lot of streamer fishing. What's your favorite setup?
My favorite setup is I throw sink lines, 24 and 30 foot heads, and 200 and 250 grain. This is a Cy Angler's sonar. It's a 200 grain.
Okay.
And for streamers, I run a Thomas & Thomas 906, 6 weight, 9 foot Avant, and it has plenty of backbone. Sometimes some larger venues and some larger flies. I'll throw 7 weights as well, but for the most part, for river fishing and you know, trout, a 6 weight, 9 footer really throws the sink line well.
Nice. And so what weight line is that on there?
This is a 200.
A 200, okay.
Yep. 200 weighted to the front with running line.
So we've been fishing for these big fish, and this is like a super dialed in thing, but obviously we're casting musky type fishing here. This is cast and cast and cast and cast.
Yeah.
And
even though the method is tried and true and it's dialed in, you go days without an eat. I mean, that's pretty much what you deal with when you basically target those 2%
monsters.
It's not their first rodeo, and you basically have to fish with a streamer that's as big as the subpar, you know, the non-trophy fish. It's basically what they're eating is stuff that's 5 to 8 inches long.
So that fish we caught last night for this venue, that's above average fish or average fish? I mean, I know obviously you've pulled, what was your largest fish out of the deer field?
36 inches long and 21 inches at the dorsal fin. So that fish was pushing 20 pounds, and that one actually was caught twice in the spring of 2015. Fished our tails off yesterday and right at the buzzer. You know, it was dark already, but they were still active.
They were going.
I wasn't going anywhere.
No, heck yeah.
And that fish, you know, that was a good solid fish. That fish probably weighed 5 pounds.
Yeah.
But in the big scheme of things, that's a cute fish. You know, it's a unbelievable wild fish,
right?
For sure. But with the food source in here, they just grow so quickly.
So what was your biggest brown trout out of the deer field last year?
Out of last year was a 34-inch, 14-pound brown that I actually caught right under that tree behind you on a double articulated black bunny streamer.
Nice.
At 10:30 at night. So
you fish with people every day. I find for myself, like, I definitely do my best fishing when I'm alone. Do you find the same for you?
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, when I get done guiding at the end of the day, I fish my way home alone. And that's my release. It is tough to sit in a boat and watch people fish your forte, your favorite venue, you know, with your favorite method, and they don't always perform. But when there's nothing else going on, you know, you're dialed, you're one. Nobody walked by your fish yet.
Yeah.
You know, you don't fish above or below.
So what do you love about your job?
About my job? Well, first and foremost, I'm happier outdoors than indoors, and I'm happier moving than stationary. So it just seems like a great fit. You know, I'm a river person. Always loved the water, and fishing has always been, you know, one of the top three. I fish, I hunt, and I ski, and that's pretty much what defines me. You know, that's what I enjoy, and it's what you'll find me doing. My English teacher asked me in high school. I had just come back I skipped school. I went fishing. I got a suspension, so I went fishing again on my day off. So when I came back from my suspension, my English teacher, Mr. Shula, he said, "Brian, I gotta ask you, what do you think you're gonna do with your life skipping school and fishing all the time?" And I ran into him when I was float stocking for the state over on the Millers River, and he reminded me of the day he asked me that question, and he put his hand on my shoulder and he said, "Seems like that worked out, huh?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "You made your way," and I certainly did, and very blessed and very happy to be where I'm at.
That's awesome.
Really, just a broke-ass trout bum, but I get to do what I want every day, and it's awesome. Yeah, sunburns, black flies, and I hate getting hooked. You are in a boat with two other anglers that are fly casting. They don't generally hook each other. They usually hook me.
Well, you're the professional.
That's right. But you know, that's get a little added value from that day, because I can show you the hook removal trick with the tippet. You make a V in it,
yep.
Put pressure on, just yank it out.
Bam.
I do a Band-Aid style. Some people leave them in and go to the ER.
Yeah, well, you know.
Just tug them out. It's not that pretty anyway.
River triage.
Yeah, yep.